What's up, everyone? It's Gabbie Trades here, and welcome back to the Coin Bureau Trading channel. What's really moving the markets today? That's the question. But before we get rolling, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and hit the small bell notification so you never miss a live breakdown here with me. All right, everyone, say hi in the chat box. Let me just double check the music over here. I mean, I can barely hear it, so I guess it's good. Welcome. Hi. All right, cool. We just got one message deleted. I don't know what's happening, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump straight into it. Okay, we're not gonna waste any more time. Hi, hello. There is everyone. All right, cool. Chat box is also coming through. Nice to see you guys. Julian, Marty, Enjoy Live. How are you guys doing? How's everyone? All right, so very good to see you guys today again. So the thing is, right, we had a lot happening last week on Friday. We had further down last. We saw each other on Thursday. We were preparing for that potentially to happen. We were looking at the levels very carefully, and guess what? The levels kind of held at the moment. Do we have a lot of confirmation, and what is really moving the markets today? So that's what we're going to look at. First of all, of course, we have the AI boom that is continuing to fuel the excitement in the markets and the volatility across tech stocks, across crypto as well. It's rippling everywhere. So of course we had over here, Nasdaq had its best day since May, blah blah blah. Alphabet drives the AI bounce. So basically what happened is that we had Google introduced their new AI model Gemini 3, and that has been the major catalyst over here. So the thing is, everyone is saying reportedly, right, that it's faster, that it's smarter than ChatGPT, Grok, what was the other one, Perplexity, and it integrates directly, obviously, into the Google ecosystem. So that's quite convenient. And of course, that pushed the Alphabet stock to new all-time highs, and it helped the overall tech sentiment over this week. So this is the kind of thing you're seeing. And but you know, the important and interesting part as well about Gemini 3 is that it's mostly trained on the TPU Google chips. It's not running on the NVIDIA's GPUs, and those TPUs are apparently cheaper and they're using less power, which it's kind of spooky for NVIDIA, and people, analysts are thinking that it may shift away from NVIDIA. But the way I look at it is even better, because now instead of having only this one massive leader, which is NVIDIA, now we're gonna have two, and Google is a quite strong name, right? So why not have them both? But you know, the reality of the situation is that, okay, we're holding the whole market on the AI, but is that really the case? Because we also have another major catalyst that is just around the corner, and that's the Feds, right? We have the Fed rate cuts upcoming. We have the probabilities over here, and we can see that they have jumped quite substantially, right? Right now, we're sitting at almost 83%. And the reason for that is because we had all of these Fed officials that came out super dovish, right? Meaning that they're open to the interest rates sooner than expected. This is what we've been saying. We had word on the street on Wall Street that we're going to get 3 rate cuts until the end of the year, and that seems to remain to be the case. So we had Christopher Waller, who called for December rate cuts. He was talking about the weaker laboring markets and the slowing inflation. Then we had the Fed president John Williams, who also said that there is room for near-term rate cuts as well. So obviously together, both of those remarks are going to push the expectations higher to 80, almost 83% in just few days. Hello, good morning, Gabby. Good morning, everyone. Guys, everyone that's here, please make sure to like this video, because it's important what we're talking about today. And of course, you know, for us investors, lower rates is very good. It means cheaper borrowing costs and more economic support overall. So yeah, that's why we're seeing the S&P 500 jumping as well. It's not only the AI drive, and it's been quite a significant surge, right? One of the biggest since May. So how is the risk right now? How is the risk? That's the first question we're going to ask. Well, obviously, right, it seems like the market is already pricing in it's pricing in for December cuts. Okay, fine. But what else do we need to think? Well, if the Fed doesn't deliver, what is that going to mean for us? Well, then we might see a pullback and it won't be that nice. So, of course, you guys, we need to be prepared for these things and watch everything carefully. Now that we have the government reopened, hooray, we're having the PPI over here. The data are coming, core PPI, retail sales, as you can see. Basically, I think this whole idea is here coming as a mixed US data, because you're getting producer inflation that is soft, obviously, versus expectations. You're getting it soft, and that's kind of good, right? If you're looking at from a disinflationary point of view, because that's also on the core side. But the retail sales came in a little bit cooler than expected. So what is that suggesting? Well, overall, the consumer is kind of is slowing down, right? But the data, in my opinion, is leaning more dovish rather than hawkish right now, but really nothing extreme at the moment. So that's not too bad, right? That's not too bad. What else do we have here in terms of news? I think that's it. Okay, cool. So we're gonna jump in straight on the charts, you guys. Make sure, I want to see everyone liking the video right now backstage. Let me know how many likes we have. I can see we have around 45 people watching us. We have Nemo, John Blessing, Philip, and Julian, Joshua, and Marty and Joy Life as well are here. You guys, I love your usernames and everything. It just it's so funny. Okay, cool. What are we looking at? 15. All right, we need at least 30 more likes immediately. Okay, immediately. Cool. What are we looking at? Yes, this is what we need to look at. Cool. So Bitcoin. Okay, we're gonna start with Bitcoin. Where did we leave last week? On Thursday. Yes, correct. So on Thursday, we were looking at the potential zones of holding 89K, and then we looked at the relatively equal highs and the potential zone for rebound down here. So, the drop was substantial. It was just, terrible. Lots of people liquidated. It came really out of nowhere. And we're currently right now substantially, it's a nice pullback, right? It's a nice pullback, but it's nothing more than that, right? Let's just call it as it is. It is nothing more than just a pullback within a massive bear trend. Always remember, you guys, the trend is your friend until we're proven otherwise. We're just doing things that make sense to some extent, right? If it's in an area of interest, it does make sense. But if you want to be a bit more conservative, you definitely need to wait a little bit more. But anyway, what is happening today? Well, we pushed in the last few days, right? We managed to push over the weekend nicely over here. We had a slight support created on Friday over here, and we continue to extend. Now, the reality is that we have a massive area of resistance at 89K, and we rejected from it yet again. Quite substantially, if you ask me, right? Quite substantially. So for me, I know that this move over here is not supported by a lot of volume, a lot of buying pressure. A lot of people are going to tell you, yeah, the CVD is looking good, we're seeing God candles, etc. It could be the case, but to me personally, when I look in the depth of this, it's not all that impressing, okay? Especially that we're rejecting from 89K. I definitely don't like that. For me, the ideal case scenario from here is I either want to see a massive push, right? Because you can see this continuing, right? You can see it continuing up to 91K, 92K, and then rejecting again, right? And then it's important to see 89K hold in that case for then a continuation. If you don't see that, then you're risking again to target this low, right? And then to bring price down to the true year opening, which for me starts in April, which in that case is going to be around 78.2K. Of course, this area can be wicked, etc. So I'm looking at that, taking it day by day, to be honest with you guys here. And to me, it's just nothing than a small bounce right now in a bearish trend, right? We need to call a spade a spade. It is what it is. Okay. What else did I want to say? When you look at this right on a lower time frame, even on the 4-hour, there isn't much you can say, okay, like we're doing so great right now. What I can tell you is that, for example, if this is really real, right, and this is just a pullback to manipulate a little bit more and trap even further, I would suggest, you know, for me, I would be looking at areas around 83.7 to 84.6, because that is going to be the point of control of really this whole current move that we're seeing. So I would be suggesting for this area to find some support around here. And if that doesn't happen, well, then it's probably more likely than not that we're gonna see the low cleared, right? So that's the thing. Before we see any strength, before we see you know, any closes above around 92k, I'm not all too excited, you guys, to be honest with you, with that. Right, of course you can punt at the lows, you can try and catch a bottom and everything. Yes, good morning, Lotus. Everyone, make sure to like this video right now, because I also have something else to tell you before we move on to Ethereum and the rest of the charts. You guys, I wanted to tell you that I'm stepping back from the weekly streams on Coin Bureau Trading channel, and that is going to be because I want to put my entire focus on my own YouTube channel, which you guys, you can find linked in the description box if you want to follow me. That's where I'm going to be putting all my energies and my analysis moving forward from next week. So make sure to subscribe if you want to keep learning and trading with me. That's what I wanted to say. And by the way, don't worry, I'm definitely not disappearing. I'll still be joining Dan, Aaron, Jordan as a guest on any future streams that they have. So you'll see plenty of me. But again, just because this is one of the last 2 streams that we're having together this week, I encourage you like this video, comment if you found value from what you're seeing, and make sure to follow my main YouTube channel. Again, it's in the description box, you guys. So yeah, any questions on Bitcoin? Do you have anything that is unclear for you guys right now, so we can review it? But yeah, I think you get the point right now in what's happening, right? The fact that you're rejecting right now from up here it's extremely unattractive, right? It's extremely unattractive. The fact that you can't break 89k. My favorite Tuesday morning show. Oh, that's so sweet, Crypto CJ. That's very cute. I want to bring your attention, right? I want to bring your attention back. Let's actually go on a higher time frame. So this is what I was talking earlier again this morning about this level at Bitcoin around 88 something, 89k. Like, this is very important level, right? We could see this level holding and then failing several times, then breaking out, and now we broke down again, and now we're bearishly retesting. So that's not all very hot at the moment, okay? It's not very nice. So all I'm saying is that before 89k level is broken, really it's a continuation of what we're seeing with the soft data, with everything priced in. This is not really the reactions you want to see. All right, but one thing I want to say also is Ethereum. Ethereum is stronger at the moment than Bitcoin. Right, there is bearish divergence between the 2 assets here on ETH, and if you look at it on a higher time frame, essentially this is, I know it's a bit busy for you guys, but essentially, you know, this is the current price leg that you're trading it for ETH, in between 1,351 all the way up to like $5,000. This is currently the price range that you're dealing at for Ethereum. Okay. All right, yeah, XRP, we're gonna look at that as well, you guys, for sure. So yeah, considering that that's the range and we're trading below 0.5 of that current price range, again, this is not all very impressive, okay? But the idea is that you haven't really reached yet the 0.236 level. This is the one that I'm mainly interested in. So that's around 2,222 on ETH. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not saying the price is gonna go there. I don't know. Nobody knows. If anyone's telling you that they know, they have no idea. They're just speculating. But what I can tell you is from my experience dealing with dealing ranges like this, which is very extensive. I've been on the charts for many years, since the year of 2017. So I've seen a lot. Okay, I've seen a lot, and I've seen a lot of ranges like that, and definitely definitely this one looks like it might hold, right? So the idea is you don't want for the price to break below 0.236. You don't even want for price to touch 2,222, because if it does, that is potentially going to mean that maybe the high is in, and that's $5,000, right? If you see Ethereum go to 2,222, you will have a very strong case to look for, you know, a reversal, a bearish reversal, in case we rally around $4,200 on Ethereum, right? Then the chances of us seeing a new all-time high are getting smaller and smaller. Will get smaller and smaller at that point. They're not there yet. They're not there. Even though we're right now at 2,900, genuinely, even though we are this deep from the high, which is, I don't know how many percentages actually, let's have a look. So that's about like 47% drop, which is nuts, honestly, you guys. Completely, you know, dissolving a lot of the gains, but still stronger than Bitcoin, right? So the thing is, right, even though we're trading here, if we manage to find support right now at 2,800 levels, which we are currently very hard trying to support, even if we fail, even if we drop to 2,380, even if we drop that deep and we protect that zone without touching 2,222, we do have a high chance of seeing Ethereum at $5,000 again, right? We will have it again. John Blessing, I don't understand why the markets continue to price in potential interest rate curse news in speculation, and Hopium just pours gas on all the pullbacks. Guess that's the way it will be from now on. That's the way it has always been. That's the way it has always been, and just that's how the way it is, and it will continue to be like that. So you guys just have to get on with the program. I hope this is clear for ETH, because that was the message that I wanted for you guys to get out of this ETH analysis, right? So there is two important points. You don't want price to reach 2,222. If it does, the chances of us getting the new all-time high are diminished to a massive extent. And if we don't, even if we find support in 2,300, even if we find support right now, these are all positive things, right? We might see a new all-time high from here. Okay. What else? Well, right now, right, we have these two daily supports. Ethereum, honestly, like from the moment ETH started trading below a lot of levels, like there was really no point in looking at this asset. But right now, maybe we can start paying some sort of attention to it. But at the moment, again, we're not breaking 2,900 levels. Well, we're trying to keep it as support at the moment. Let's see if that's going to be the case, right? Let's see. But for me, honestly, Ethereum below 3,200 with not a confirmed break above that level is not of interest. But I want to remind you that on the 4-hour time frame, let's see if we have the liquidity. Yes, here's the liquidity indicator. By the way, if you want the indicators, again, in the description box of this video, I've given you 30 days free from my indicators. Hold on, let's see if we can see the video actually. Nice, no ads today. Lovely. 50 people watching, 33 likes, you guys. Again, make sure to follow my main YouTube channel, because this week is going to be my last week for live streams on CoinBureau trading. So make sure to follow that for the live streams and updates. Again, the indicators, you have 30 days free trial for my trading indicators. That means all the liquidities that you see over here, all the SR flip zones on every time frame, you can get these ones, and further order blocks, breaker blocks, signals. And of course, check all the offers that CoinBureau has prepared for you guys over here. Okay, very important. ETH. So yeah, we do have the liquidity. So we know that eventually we should go back and you know, reclaim that liquidity at 3,600, 650. Okay, it's kind of interesting how all. Is it possible for you to talk to HCN, please? Yeah, of course. You guys can put your altcoin requests in the chat box. We're gonna go and review them. Okay. So yeah, the POC for this price move on ETH is down here, by the way, 2,750, 2,700. That will mean point of control. Okay. And from now on, we're currently kind of like still rotating. We're just rotating. This is like really nothing all too significant that we're seeing at the moment. HBAR army, let's go. Okay. We'll look at that as well. When I look at Solana, same thing, rejecting right now from the 12-hour SR flip zone. I don't like that. I don't like that. Definitely a lot of gains here from the drop, so that's not all too bad. You want to see Solana trading at least above 141 with a conviction on a daily time frame. At least that, you know, is it natural for Sol to bounce from this zone? Absolutely. Like we can just simply look to the left and compare the zone to previous zones, right? You can see you had bounce here, bounce here, bounce here, bounce here. Now, the problem with Sol that I have that is fundamental is this liquidity down here. Okay, so the liquidity is sitting at 94. That's a fundamental problem for Solana, and I really don't like seeing that, to be honest. So yeah, not all too trusting in this right now. To be here. Okay. I love this show, Divine Soto. Oh, thank you guys so much. Don't worry, I'm gonna be coming back on live streams here with Dan and Jordan and Aaron, whoever invites me. I'm gonna come and do analysis with them for you guys. No worries. Sol is not to be trusted, Mo. I agree. I totally agree. Okay, cool. Let's review XRP. Now, we've been saying XRP for weeks, right? We've been saying weeks, even when XRP was trading here, that ideally you want to retest the 0.5 of the price range, which was 1.97. How many times did we say that, you guys? Okay, so we've retested finally that level, even wicked below it. Okay, even wicked below it. But now the problem is that we failed this buy zone. Now that essentially flips into a sell zone. Okay, so that's how it works. That's how it works. And currently you're bearishly retesting it. You're bearishly retesting it. Now, you do have a, which by the way, we also saw happening, right? Because this is what happens. If you're having a bearish order flow, that is what usually happens. If you have rallies that are a little bit stronger than the previous bear rally rotation points, this is what happens, right? You get a nice, you know, 2 candles up, equivalent of, you know, double in percentages. You close nicely. Honestly, I like how XRP has closed over here, specifically this candle from Monday. I really like this. I don't like the fact that it's retesting right now, but usually that's what happens, right? Even when you get a close above the areas, every time I say something like, hey, you need to see a close above here, you need to see a close above there. Once you see it, you know, a retrace of that is fine, okay? In this case over here, we saw closing above areas of interest. So XRP, I'm kind of willing to believe that this might be the bottom, right? Even though if I have to classify, is this breakout over here is not so great, right? It's still one of the weak ones, but it's not too bad. It still happens, so it's there. And I like to see it at levels of interest for me, for XRP, definitely something I like to see, right? So I'm more than ready to start putting bits on here. You can argue if you follow the model, you know, you can enter pretty much right now at the break, or you can wait for a retrace to another area of interest, which in this case is 2.06. Okay. Or if you don't believe the move, if you think that this is not the end, then you're looking at 1.77. So these are pretty much the 3 things you can do over here. Okay. How long have you been trading crypto? So I trade the traditional markets way more than crypto. I haven't been trading crypto for that long, to be honest. I've been trading Forex and equities for way longer than I've been trading crypto. I've been investing in crypto way longer. I started 2017, so but I haven't been trading too actively crypto since then. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely more experienced in equities, but I think I'm doing good. Yeah. Okay. I want for XRP to get above 13. What else did we want to see, you guys? Oh yeah, HBAR for someone. Yeah, HBAR again, nice reaction. Honestly, of course, it's gonna react super nicely, coming directly from the 0.236. As you can see, the range model theory that I teach in my course is way stronger than all of the daily SR flips, you guys. So 0.236 is always going to remain a buy zone. So for us, for HBAR, that was 0.126. Okay, we broke above the daily support, but we haven't had a good of a close in comparison, for example, to XRP. This is not that great. Okay, this is not qualifying. This is qualifying for a bearish rotation. Okay, so we need a little bit more proof. We need this to close above 0.15. Yeah, does that make sense? It's nice, it's lovely, but it hasn't closed above zones. It's rejected the zones that it's supposed to not reject. So yeah, but overall, you know, overall I like this liquidity above here, even though we're in a zone that is showing that we might not get above 0.32 anymore. We still have liquidity, so there is still hope. HCN, okay, this I haven't seen I think in quite a bit, if probably never. So let's have a look at these ones here. HCN, who is asking for HCN, and what is HCN? What is that? It's just, it doesn't look very good to start with. It doesn't look very good to start with. Yeah, HCN. Yeah, that's what we're looking at, right? No, it looks hard. It doesn't look great. It looks like it might drop down to 0.001738. So that little pump over here might mean something, but personally for me, probably nothing. All right, let's look at this markets before. What's the history over here? Yeah, not too great, not too great. Yeah, not really. It just seems like a pump out of nowhere. Yeah, it's closed above level, so you can say that you know, the Saturday candle is quite good. So if you want to give it a go, maybe, but like overall, not really, to be fair. And yeah, again, I'll be looking at the stacked highs over here. We have a high here of interest, three relatively equal highs here, so you know, two relatively equal highs. So you might see it travel to there, but yeah, for me, this is, yeah, maybe a little bit of confirmation. You could potentially you know, have a punt around 0.005214, but again, not something that I would do. All right, does that make sense? Any other coin you guys want me to look at while we're here? Again, you guys know this week and today's stream, and on Thursday is going to be our last stream together on Coin Bureau Trading. Okay, so make sure to come down. Oops, what did I do? Make sure to come down in the description box and follow my main YouTube channel down here. Check all the offers. Coin Bureau Trading, very important. Okay. Oh, interesting. Let's have a look. not too bad, honestly. Not too bad. I like this. Over here, a little bit of range, showing a little bit of weakness, not too much strength. So yeah, conservatively, honestly, you want to see it trading above 0.18. 0.18, 0.19. That's going to be a nice confirmation for this. Let's assess the range down here a little bit. Yeah, I'd say for more security, you want to break above this level. All right, SUI, I saw you need to wait a lot for SUI. You need to wait for a lot of levels. It doesn't look great. So let's look at NEAR. Yeah, NEAR is still kind of like in the buy zone, doing its thing. Trying to do something. Right, very weak. Definitely at levels, but you know, looking at these lows, they might be targeted as well. To be fair, complete retrace of beginning of November pump, so you have to keep that in mind. Pepe did quite well, didn't it, by the way? And now it's pushing back. I know it was up today or yesterday. Yeah, again, really like coming from out of nowhere. This is just like a nothing pump for now, to be honest with you guys. On Pepe, so I'm not touching it. Bored. I'm also bored, trust me. I'm also bored. It's not only you. Let's have a look at Ondo real quick. Yeah, I mean, at levels, have they been respected on a weekly? Not really. Can you break above them? No, you can't. So they completely broke it. Crypto is broken. Crypto is broken. So I'm just not looking at anything that is looking absolutely horribly, terribly at the moment, which is most of the altcoins, to be fair with you guys. Yeah, it is. Totally, utterly. You know, when you look at USDT, it reached our levels. Remember, we were waiting for 6.24. That was the first panic. Then we said, hold on, it's not over. Here we were at 89K, right? We said, once this happens, we need to wait for here, right? Between these two levels, between 6.5 and 6.73. Look at this. This was when price reversed, right? And tell me we're not getting the levels correct. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much. And make sure to join on Thursday, like I said, because this is going to be our last Coinvera trading live stream together. Of course, remember, I'll be coming as a guest on the show, you guys. So we'll be seeing each other around. And of course, again, you can follow my main YouTube channel for more of what I do over here. And I'll see you guys on Thursday.